Friends and family, thank you for being with us on this joyous occasion. We are here today, the 12th of April, 2025, to celebrate one of life's greatest moments, the union of two wonderful people, Jesse Hee-chan Yoon and Yuri William Doolin, here in the city where they first met and fell in love exactly 3 years ago. Jesse and Yuri have invited you here today because each of you has been an important part of their story. Whether you are family by birth or family by choice, whether you have known them for decades or just a few years, you are the people who have supported, encouraged, and stood by them in life. So we celebrate not just their love for each other, but also the love and joy that fills this room. I met Jesse 10 years ago in medical school. At the beginning, all I knew about him was that he barely studied, but scored well on his exams, and told plenty of your mom jokes. But during the course of our friendship, I've learned that beneath the veneer of dad humor, he is a pillar of sensibility, kindness, and strength. He is reliable, selfless, and a fierce protector of his loved ones. He has always been there for me, and I cannot imagine how my life would have been without him. I'm so lucky to be able to call him one of my closest friends. But there remains the issue of his insufferable, corny sense of humor. And what future partner could possibly put up with that? And that's when Yuri came into the picture. When I first met Yuri, I was drawn to him immediately. Though we barely knew each other, I felt safe and supported sharing with him whatever might be on my mind. He always listens without judgment, is thoughtful in his responses, and is not afraid of true connection. He is a sunbeam of warmth, empathy, and cheer, one that radiates compassion and has a sweet tooth that is only rivaled by his sweet disposition. And of course, he not only laughs at Jesse's jokes, but he makes Jesse laugh in return. I wondered, could he be the one? Early on while they were dating, I mistakenly introduced Jesse and Yuri as boyfriends during a hangout. The pair looked at me blankly, and then at each other, when I realized with horror that they had not actually defined the relationship yet. Though we all laughed it off, it was clear there was something very special and natural about their closeness to each other and how their smiles lit up each other's faces. I remember thinking afterwards, Jesse, please don't mess this up. Fast forward 3 years later, and the rest is history. I know I speak not just for me, but on behalf of everyone, that it has been a gift and immense privilege to see these two incredible men grow together and fall in love with each other. It's been said that a successful marriage is built upon clear communication, mutual respect, and the ability to compromise and navigate challenges together with grace, patience, and love for one another. As a testament to this, to what they have built together, and to what they will continue to build for the future, Jesse and Yuri have prepared their own vows. Jesse and Yuri, today you stand before each other, surrounded by those who love you, ready to make promises that will shape your future together. These vows are not just words. They are the foundation of your commitment, the promises you will uphold through all the joys and challenges that lay ahead. As you speak these words to each other, know that they come from the deepest parts of your hearts and will carry you through a lifetime of love and growth together. Jesse, will you please share your vows with Yuri?
I consider myself a pragmatic, level-headed person. Most of my adult life has been one cautious and calculated trajectory. So it was in some ways irresponsible of me to have somehow known only 1 month into dating that I was going to marry you. It's one of the great cosmic mysteries, how it is that someone can go from being a total stranger to being the most important person in your life. There are the big moments early on in our relationship, like our first trip abroad to Ireland and my cardiac ablation, overwhelmingly joyous moments and stressful crises that portend we can be not as individuals, but together. Then there are the quiet moments in between. Things that drive me crazy, like when you scratch your bug bites till they bleed. And things that make me quietly smile no matter how often you do them, like when the top of your nose crinkles when you really, really laugh. But there is one moment that I always think about, a strange spark on an otherwise mundane night. As I was returning from a trip late at night, you met me outside, took my suitcase, and hugged me. I suddenly realized I had left my phone in the cab, which at this point was already far down at the end of the block. Without hesitation, you immediately sprinted down the dark street, blindly chasing after the taillights, heavy suitcase still in hand and dragging behind you, and somehow catching up to the moving car and retrieving my phone. I've thought about that night a lot. Not that I want you to keep chasing cars from me, but it shifted my perspective just enough. It made me realize that while my side of our relationship was sustained on feelings, your side was and had always been sustained by action, intention, a commitment to doing things for the relationship and for each other, things that I feel like I have done maybe half as much as you have. And then there are the qualities about you that make you you. Of course, I find you compassionate, intelligent, witty, and charismatic. But there are two things that stood out to me from the day we met and continue to resonate with me every day. Your unwavering passion for the things you love and your incredible lifelong independence. Back in high school, when I was just drifting along aimlessly and simply going through the motions of what I thought I was supposed to do, a quote from a movie struck me deeply. I suppose I do have one unembarrassed passion. I want to know how it feels to care about something passionately. You seemingly never struggled with this. From your work as a historian and writer, to your love of gymnastics, dance, and sad dog videos, you pour your heart and soul into everything you do. It's simply infectious. I'm grateful for that energy and for the life it has brought into my world just by proximity. You have also been so independent for as long as you can remember, and while part of it may have been necessary, it's shaped you into someone truly remarkable, someone I admire immensely. It makes this moment so much more meaningful that after a lifetime of walking your own path, you are now choosing to walk with me, side by side, hand in hand. All this to say, love may be a mystery, but with you, it just makes sense. Every morning I wake up beside you and wonder how I got so lucky to be here. It's not just that I love you, I admire and respect you. Being with you has helped me refocus on what matters. Life should be filled with joy. Life should be filled with what gives you purpose. Life isn't just a feeling, but a commitment. A choice we make every day. These are the things you embody so naturally, but that I need and want to do better to meet you in all the ways you deserve. So today, I promise to close that gap. I vow this, to never let you face the world alone. To live our lives earnestly and fill our days with joy. To fight for our love when life tests our resolve. To learn and grow together from the big moments we share, and to treasure all the quiet ones in between. To run into the dark, chasing after taillights. Yuri, you're the best thing that happened to me. Every moment with you surpasses anything I could have ever dreamed of. And I'm so excited for the future we get to build together. I love you.
Jesse Hee-chan Yoon. Growing up as a queer Korean kid in Ohio, I often wondered if love was meant for people like me. Would I ever learn to love and be loved in return? Would that love be accepted or even celebrated by the people in my life? Even as society changed and as we grew, I still had my doubts. I hardly allowed myself to dream that something like this or someone like you would be possible. And so here today, I stand before you so utterly amazed that we're getting married in this room full of so many important people to us, the most important people in our lives. More than a wedding, I knew from very early on that what I wanted was a partner to share life's joys and hardships with, someone who would become my family, someone to build a stable home with, someone who would be my number one and me in turn theirs. In retrospect, when I imagined who that partner would be in my head, I actually pictured someone very similar to you all along. But throughout my 20s and early 30s, I never realized it because I could never find that person. That is, of course, until I met you when I moved to New York 3 years ago and we had our first date. When I first met you, I was immediately drawn to the lightness in the air around you. Although you would never admit it, you were a person who had experienced much difficulty and uncertainty in your own life. Yet you had a way of focusing on the good, never dwelling too long on the bad, and you always assumed the best intentions in others. I knew I needed that kind of person, that kind of energy and optimism in my life. And as I followed that urge to be around your warmth, it quickly became clear to me that I had found a deeply good person. Falling in love with you was one of the highest of highs I've ever had in my life. It was a kaleidoscope of butterflies and a deep thumping in my chest every time you were near. It was nights in Broadway theaters, clinging tightly to one another with both arms each, almost as if we were scared that if we just held hands, and hands alone, the other would float away from us and we might never see them again. Just in case, we took no chances. It was mornings in the Upper East Side, near your old apartment, eating bagels with way too much cream cheese on them. Daily strolls through Central Park, crossing one side of Manhattan to the other, just because we didn't want to spend even one night apart. It was exploring this big old city, now most all of my memories of it tied to you and what it means and feels like to fall in love. It was watching you get to know Kiyoshi and thinking, wow, one day he's going to be a great father. Or, yeah, that's a man who I want to raise a family with, if we could be so lucky. It was driving through the Irish countryside on our first big trip together. It was falling asleep under the stars of Joshua Tree, being overwhelmed with the vastness of what was above us, feeling so small in relation to the universe, yet in that smallness realizing perhaps that our purpose in life is simply loving each other and those around us. It was wondering when, if ever, the honeymoon period would end, waiting for the shift that everyone says would happen, but realizing that even after fights and disagreements and negotiations that felt so tedious at the time, those butterflies and tingles that I felt for you at the very beginning, they would never disappear. They'd always come back. It was feeling young even though we are young. It was feeling so alive even though we are so alive. It was the feeling but also the knowledge deep in my bones that together with you by my side, anything is possible. It was finding the best friend of my life. Through all this, as I got to know you more and more, I learned that you were not just the deeply good person that I had initially suspected you to be, but in fact, you were the best person I had ever met. Jesse, you are the kind of person who makes himself small so others can be big, even when you deserve so much to be big too. You are a person who chooses almost every single moment of the day to do what is right and what is fair. And not because anyone is watching or keeping track, but because that is what you feel in your heart is how you should conduct yourself in this life and on this earth. A partner as good as you deserves so much in return, so much more than I could possibly give. But I promise I will try my best in this marriage. And so here are my vows to you. I'm a person with many flaws. I won't do things perfectly in our relationship, but I promise to always try my best to be as careful with your heart as you are with mine. I promise to always remain accountable for my actions. I promise to always repair, to never be too proud to say, sorry, I was wrong. I promise to always be open to growing and learning and improving. I promise that each and every day I will strive to be a better partner to you until I'm the partner you deserve and the best one you could have ever imagined for yourself. I vow to never stop living and loving this life together. I promise to never stop exploring with you, to never stop nurturing your inner child, to keep you forever young, at least in spirit, if not in joints. To never get stuck in our ways, to never take for granted our time together, to fill our lives with adventure and family and friends, to let the love we share radiate outwards. I vow to love you with my whole heart, to fill your days with joy and laughter, to always be on your side and always be by your side. I promise that not a day will go by that you'll doubt how special you are to me. You'll always feel and know in your heart that you are my number one. I will always choose you. I will always find you. I vow to help you to build a life that you will be proud of, one that will make you feel whole and fulfilled, one in which your dreams have also come true. I promise that that life that we build will include a home that feels safe and warm and full, with dogs or children or whatever it is we are given. We will make the most of it together. And we will look back when we are old and wrinkly, and we will be proud. And we will be happy that we have done it together. I don't know what exactly the future holds for us, how much health or time we will be given, what happens to us when we go, and if somehow we still get to be together then. But I do know that in whatever time we have, I will cherish being with you, and I will make each and every moment count. I am so lucky to have found my person, the best person. And I'm so lucky that I get to spend my days with you. I trust you with my life. You are my love. You are my best friend. You are my family. Forever and ever, and hopefully even after that. So now, let's get married. And let's build the best possible future we can dream of together.
Jesse and Yuri, you have shared your personal promises with one another, vows that reflect your unique journey and the depth of your commitment. As we continue this celebration of your love, we move from your personal expressions to the formal declarations that will bind your lives together. This time, I ask that you join hands and look at one another. Jesse, do you take Yuri to be your lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Yuri, do you take Jesse to be your lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Now, we have the exchange of rings. A year and a half ago, Jesse proposed to Yuri by leaving a ring for him to find on the collar of their dog, Kiyoshi. Today, for this ceremony, Kiyoshi is once again carrying rings on his collar. Jesse, will you please retrieve the rings? The rings you are about to exchange were at first your engagement rings. Now, engraved with today's date, they will become your wedding bands and a symbol of the transition you are making. Every time you look at these rings, may they remind you of the vows you've given and serve as a lasting reminder of the very moment you promised to love and cherish one another forever. Jesse, as you place this ring on Yuri's finger, please repeat after me. With this ring, I give you my heart, my love, and my devotion.
With this ring, I give you my heart, my love, and my devotion.
Yuri, as you place this ring on Jesse's finger, please repeat after me. With this ring, I give you my heart, my love, and my devotion.
With this ring, I give you my heart, my love, and my devotion.
Jesse and Yuri, having exchanged your vows and rings, I am honored to pronounce you married. You may now kiss your husband.